Today's the solstice. Happy solstice, everyone. I think about the sun a lot because, well, we live in Colorado, so how can you not think about the sun a lot? It's pretty cloudy today, actually, but normally it's sunny. And I think about, isn't it kind of amazing when you really contemplate what the sun is and what the sun does? A friend of mine gave me a piece of welding glass, the thickest welding glass that exists, so that you can put it right up to your eyes and look at the sun. And you can see the solar flares in the sun. And it's a really cool thing to see when there's an eclipse or just any day to look at the sun. But it's not something we get to really look at the sun. We all know the feeling, think about the view of sunlight shining through trees. And it was getting light here this morning. I want to see what Ruth said because she's in Scotland. Oh my gosh, at 2:30 in the morning, that's early. That's crazy. Okay, so there's some downside of having almost 24 hours of sunshine, right? Um, but it's this beautiful thing that we have where it's so far away from us, and yet we can feel the light of the sun on us, and not just when it's warm, not just when it's heat coming at us, but the light. And we can be this internal sun. So, if you think about your heart space or your Manipura chakra, all these places in our bodies where we kind of have this sense of centering, we can almost think that we have a center sun that we can shine out from as well. And just like the sun can travel far in its rays and touch others, our inner light can also do the same. We can shine out and touch others, and we can be touched by others who are very far away from us, all the way halfway across the world. So close your eyes for a moment and think about the energy, the zenith that we are in today, the cultivation of, half the year we rise to this moment to get the most sun that we can have in this hemisphere. So think about what the sun does for you, when you're having a down day or when you've had the blahs and the clouds are here, either literally or figuratively, and you come into the light, you come into the sun, and how good it feels to have light. So let's start with just some gratitude for all that the sun gives us. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without it. And then let's contemplate the inner light as well. So, the ways in which some days you're a little darker, some days you're a little lighter. What cultivates your inner light? What helps you when you're feeling dimmed? What gives you that spark so that you can not be diminished, but rather shine not only bright for yourself, but for others as well? So, what does that for you? Where are your spark plugs? What gives you that sense of being able to cultivate energy, expansive, outward light? And if you're not feeling that these days, if you're a little depleted, what can help you recharge? What do you need? And can you be kind enough to yourself to give yourself what you need? Can you not feel badly about needing rest, rejuvenation, support? What helps your light shine? And then think about a day recently when you felt so full of energy that there was just an abundance, your cup overflowing. And on that day, weren't you a joy to be around? Right? Did you have something to share? Some goodness and light with others? So cultivating our light is not just a gift to ourselves, but it's a gift to others as well. Feel into your body now. Drop into the sit bones. Feel the spaciousness in your torso. How is your breath? Is there a way for you to relax something in your body that's tense? What can you let go? All right, now open the channels to receive. So broaden your heart, open the breath, feel the spine be spacious and free, and allow some sun to come into all the nooks and crannies that you're opening up. Place your palms together at your heart. Offer an intention for yourself. What do you need? How can your practice support you? And then release the hands and let's come onto our back. Okay. So as you find your way into our physical practice, remember your breath is your best friend. Okay, so if something is going to help you shine some light, inner light, your breath is definitely a gateway to get there, to bring energy, prana, into you. You know, pranayama, the breath work of yoga, we don't just receive prana from our breath, we also receive prana from the sun. We receive prana from the love that we receive from other people. We receive prana from creativity and inspiration. We receive prana from the food we eat. So there's so many sources of energy. So what kind of energy can your practice give you? All right, so let's stretch our arms, stretch our legs, reach your body. One limb longer, next limb longer. Just find yourself. So wake up the rims of your body, the outside edges. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. All right, let's circle the knees. Let's circle them one direction. And then let's circle the knees the other way. Okay, check in. How's your body? How are all your joint spaces? Anywhere in particular that you need to care for today? Okay, let's open the knees up and swing them back in. How are your hip joints? All right, and then right knee into the chest, left leg long on the floor, and roll those ankles around. Swivel your feet. All right, feel some compression. Really draw the knee in and let the hip compress. And then switch. Left knee in, let the right leg stretch open. Feel free to wiggle those toes and switch your feet around. Feel the length of your spine. Enjoy just coming into the body, the feeling of being in your body. Okay. All right, stretch your limbs wide, arms and legs spread out. Take a deep inhale, wiggle your fingers and toes and touch your edges. And then exhale, pick up your head, knees into your chest, give a good strong hug. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, expand outward and wide. Become that expansive sun. So stretch from your center out to your edges. And then exhale and bring that energy back into the center of the body. All right, let's roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. If your wrists need shaking out, then feel free to roll them and shake them before you come down onto your hands and knees. And let's start moving through some cat-cows. So arching and rounding the spine. Now, if you haven't moved much yet today, this might, you might be a little stiff, and that's okay. Just allow your body to open the way it wants to open. And remember, there's nothing that happens well without your breath. So keep the breath moving. If we hold our breath, and if you are a habitual breath holder, you probably know that by now. So just even more consciousness around the flow. You don't have to manipulate the breath or do anything weird. Just try to keep it moving and present with the sensation of it. All right, swirl this pose around. Anything you want to do. How's your body today? How is your relationship to your body in your mind today? Are you, kind of upset about something in your body? Do you have some appreciation going on? All right, and then stretch your hips back toward your heels. Walk the hands out in front of you. Open the armpits up, open the shoulders up, stretch those hands forward. And then let's walk over to the right side of the mat.
And open the left side body up. Feel that sense of drop through the hips. Relax your neck. All right, and then walk over to the other side. Relax the base of your skull. Breathe well. All right, and then come back to center. Come back up onto all fours. And one more time, move through a cat-cow. And imagine, pick a spot in your torso. Maybe your heart space, maybe your solar plexus, wherever you want it to be. And let this be your inner sun that we want to kind of just get to be broad and free. Curl your toes under and lift to dog pose. Stretch through your body. So as you find that place in your center, wherever it is, see if you can imagine that your breath is originating and returning to that place. I know, your breath is not originating from your belly if that's where you're choosing, but find it and imagine that that's your center of breath. Breathe from there to there. Okay, so as you're in this posture, how are your legs doing? Do you want to pedal your feet? Do you want to sway your hips? Is there any movement pattern that you want to help you wake up and open the body? What do you enjoy about this posture? Feel that breath moving through you well. Come into the state of yielding where you're finding the earth, the relationship with the earth, and feeling the earth give you something to reach into the body and up to the pelvis. Find any tension that you can let go, the base of the skull, the jaw, the eyes. Can you root a little bit more through the index finger mounds? And then walk your feet forward and come into Uttanasana. Fold in half, relax your head. Feel free to shake your tail feathers. Feel free to roll around in your shoulders, your neck. Inhale for a halfway lift. The spine grits longer. Feel the sit bones up and wide. Exhale and melt back down. Push off your feet, rise up, bringing the arms to the sky. All right, so welcome in the sun. All right, look up just a little bit. You can have your eyes closed or shut, whatever feels good, but let the heart lift to the sky. Imagine that sense of connecting the heart to the sun itself. Breathing deeply. Can you feel the uplift? All right, and then elbows hugging down just a little bit. Squeeze the back of your body, get it alive. And then exhale and round. Tuck your chin toward your chest, forearms to touch. One more time. Cactus, open those arms or stretch your arms wide. And then exhale and release back in. Arms up, heart to the sky. Reach your heart. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Sit bones come high, spine grows. Exhale and melt back down. Let's step back to dog pose. Take your whatever foot you normally take back first. See if you can always try to switch things up. Feel the extension here. Rooted to the earth, rise up to the hips. Breath is deep. Feel the center. Come forward into a plank. Hold steady here. Stretch your heels, inner thighs lifting. Engage your core. Root into the index finger mounds. Notice where you tend to hunch. Are your shoulders rounded? Can you broaden the heart space here? Enliven the back of the body a little bit more. Find your breath. And put your knees down. Slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Let's hang out here just for a little bit. Feel into the body. Stretch through the front, shoulders down, lengthen your legs. And then exhale and melt back down. Come back up onto your knees. Feel free to move your hips or move your feet, whatever feels good. And then back to dog pose we go. Extending the spine. Soften the skull, relax the eyes, root the index finger mounds. Sit bones are wide, yield. Walk your feet forward. What foot do you always bring forward? Try to always remember to switch things up a little bit. Relax your head. Shake your tail. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Melt back down. Rise up. Bring your heart to the sky again. And then exhale, Tadasana. Either hands to your heart or hands down to your sides. So we're in honor of the solstice. We're going to do some sun salutations today. So, our warm up, that was kind of a sun salutation, but I like to go slower than most people do in the beginning. So, but we'll kind of try to do a little bit of one breath, one movement through a couple of rounds of sun salutations, which is not my typical way of practicing. I tend to move slower. So if you want to move slower than this, instead of one breath, one movement, that's totally fine. Okay, take your own pace. Come to the front of your mat. We'll start with Surya A, Surya Namaskar A. Close your eyes for a moment. Relax the shoulders. Find Tadasana. Remember, you are the conduit between the earth and the sun. Feel the relationship with both. Can you feel that connection to both? Feel the feet. Soften the knees. Let the belly release. Feel the breath touch down into the earth. And same, lift the heart slightly to the sky. Feel the crown lift to the sky. Feel that connection with solar energy, this life-giving energy that uplifts, inspires, fuels us. All right, take a deep breath in. Arms to the sky. Hello, sun. Exhale, bend your knees. Float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, dog pose. Exhale, come forward into a plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees down onto the ground. Find your way to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, find your way down. Inhale, back to dog pose. Exhale while you're here. Right foot forward, inhale. Exhale, back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and melt. Push off your feet, rise up. Deep breath. Exhale. Trace down to the center. If your breath is slower than mine, faster than mine, it's all good. Follow your pace, not my pace. Okay, take a deep breath in. Arms up to the sky, lean to the sky. Exhale, fold. Let your knees bend as much as you want to. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back, right foot forward. Inhale, back to dog pose. Exhale while you're here. Take a breath, come forward into a plank. Exhale, come down to the ground. Rise up on your inhale. Cobra pose. Exhale, down. Inhale, dog pose. Exhale and release. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, feet together or hip width apart. Halfway lift. Exhale and melt. Push off your feet, rise up. Exhale, bring that sun back down into your heart. Pause here for a moment. Notice how moving with breath makes you feel. Keep that breath moving. Can you imagine the breath in the center place that is your internal sun? We're going to do Surya Namaskar B now. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Hang out here, find your breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Right foot back. Come into Virabhadrasana 1. Arms up to the sky. Find your breath. Let's hang out here for one more round of breath. Hate to just kind of come into a pose and leave it. Rise up with the breath. Inhale, awaken the heart. Exhale, hands down onto the ground, dog pose. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Exhale, all the way to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Come back up, dog pose. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, right foot forward. Plant the back heel down. Rise up. Big breath in. Feel your feet ground and roots. One more breath here. On your next exhale, hands down, back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Come up to chair pose, feet apart or together, you choose. Find your breath. Okay, and then rise up. Open the chest. Exhale, fold forward again. Okay, just pause here. Chair pose, rise up. On your next exhale, fold in half. Straighten the legs, open the spine, half lift. Exhale and melt. Let's take our left foot back, right foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Breathing well. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, dog pose. Inhale while you're here. Exhale, enjoy this posture. Feel the earth. Come forward into a plank. Now remember, you can do chaturanga and up dog. I don't do chaturanga anymore. So put your knees down, come down to the floor. It's not good for my shoulders, so I just avoid it. Take a deep breath in, open the chest. Exhale, melt back down. Onto all fours, up you go. Breathe, let your exhale come in full. Left foot forward on your inhale. Right heel comes down. Rise up. Find your breath. Let's stay here for 2 breaths instead of just 1 breath. Hands down, back foot comes forward, fold in half. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, melt. Chair pose. And then rise all the way up. Trace your hands down. Pause here. So that's, one variation. There's all sorts of little variations of it, but that's Surya Namaskar A and B. Sun Salutations A and B. So let's just pause and see how moving with breath has made you feel. Bring your arms down. Let's find mountain pose. Ground yourself. Once again, feel that connection between the earth and the sun. Be the conduit between the two. How do you yield? How do you yield? What happens in your body when you try to receive the earth more? Can you soften the knees and have a exquisite sensation in the soles of your feet as you drop into the earth? Imagine drinking the breath from the earth. Imagine drinking the breath from the sun. All right. Inhale, rise up one more time, chest broad, open that heart up. Exhale and release the hands. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open the heart. See if you can get that chest to broaden. And bend your knees and reach your arms away from your spine wherever they naturally go. Head is soft and relaxed. Okay. And then melt the hands toward the earth. Halfway lift. The spine grows again. The sit bones are high and wide. The feet are broad. Exhale and melt. Now let's step the right foot back, and we're done with the sun salutations. We're gonna slow down now. So take your blocks if you want them, find your lunge. Now, we're gonna come into a twist, so maybe the hand comes down onto the ground, maybe it stays on the block. Open yourself up, turning your torso to the left. Lift the right thigh up and back. Widen the sit bones, drop the shoulders. And then release your hands down toward the ground. Place your back knee all the way down onto the floor and just enjoy a little deeper of a hip flexor stretch. Open the heart up. Maybe the hands come on blocks. Maybe the hand comes on your knee. Just find where you are. And if you're not okay on your knee in the back, you can put a blanket underneath it or just lift your knee up and come into a regular lunge. See what it feels like to open the heart wide. Maybe the hands come apart or up. Hug to the midline with your legs. Feel that sense of stability. And then release. One more time, we're coming into a twist. Hand down onto the ground. A little different when our knee is on the floor. And this time, instead of hugging to the midline with your inner thighs, allow your knee to open a little bit out to the side. Okay? Lean your heart to the sky. It's very easy to lock into the shoulder and sink into the hips in this pose. Soften the elbow a little bit, shoulder blades down the back. Try not to fall with the pelvis. We're still stable, hugging femur bones into hips. Okay, and then release and relax and come back. Okay, go ahead and find your way to dog pose, extending the spine up, long through your body. Okay, let's bring our left foot forward. Same thing, find your lunge. Hands can be on blocks or lower, wherever you tend to like to be. What gives you breath? Always seek what helps your breathing. We're gonna find our way into a twist. So hand on block or hand on floor, shoulders away from the ears. Let the belly do the turning. See if you can keep moving that back thigh up toward the sky, wide sit bones. All right, let's release the hands down onto the ground, back knee on the floor. If you aren't comfortable there, that's okay. And try perhaps taking your knee a couple of inches further back than what you are typically comfortable with. Really try to open up the hip flexors here, stretch through them. Maybe your hands come up off the ground onto blocks or onto your knee. Still finding that openness through the hip flexors, but stabilize. Press your front heel into the ground. Hug your heel and back knee toward each other a bit. Rise up further. Reach the arms up or out or back, wherever feels good for you. Remember, we're using the breath. We're finding that prana through our breath. Open your heart to the sun. And we're going to release the hand down onto the ground. Twist again, but this time open the knee. Okay, so let it move out a little bit. Try not to fall and drop the pelvis and lock out the shoulder. So shoulder blade down, the elbows a little soft. We're still stable through our legs, even though we're opening up. So I have my big toe off the floor now with this front foot, whatever works for you. And then come back to center. Come back to child's pose for a moment. Relax the hips back toward the heels, and then find your way coming onto your belly. Arms coming back behind you. Palms are facing the floor, and let's open the chest. So stretch, use the work of the back body. Feel that heart expand. The neck stays long. Our legs are on the ground. We're just lifting the torso up. Lift your triceps a little higher than your back. And then exhale and melt back down. Come back up. Onto all fours, swish and sway any way you want. Find your breath. Come all the way to dog pose. Long, big spine. Extend again. Lift your right leg up in the air and stack open the hip. Feel that hip flexor stretch in a new way. Breathe deeply here. And then square the hips again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, foot forward. Find your full lunge. Rise up, crescent lunge. Reaching the arms to the sky, open that heart up, and then turn to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Okay, so find that sense of stability. So arms can go anywhere you want your arms to be. We're trying to stay in that open-hearted space where the breath is free. Relax the shoulders. All right, so we're gonna lift toward the sun again. Slide that arm down and feel the side body awaken. Look up if you can. All right, elbow down. Stretch open through your side, reach the arm. Feel the aliveness from your heel to your hand. Open up that side body. Take the thigh bone back. Remember, we're a conduit between the earth and the sun. Feel the connection to both. All right, go ahead and bring your hands back down to dog pose. Full breaths here. Take those legs back. Enjoy. Come forward into a plank. Put your knees down. Come down to the floor. This time, interlace your hands behind your back. Hug the shoulder blades toward each other and lift everything up. Arms and legs. Legs can be apart or together. You decide. Keep the breath moving. Where's that center sun in your body now? And then relax and melt. Come up onto your hands and knees. Swish if you want. Move your spine around. Take your time. Breathing. Lift to dog pose as you go. Remember, there's always ways to skip little things that bother you. Lift the left leg up in the air and stack open the left hip. You can bend your knee or you can straighten your leg. What feels best to your body? Square hips. When you're ready, bring them back and then bring that left foot forward. Ground yourself. Feel your feet. When you're ready, come up to stand. Okay, so crescent lunge again. Open the heart. Arms can be anywhere at all. Where is that center sun inside of you? Can you breathe from there and to there? Are you able to open your heart, or are you, hunkered in? Let yourself find the light, the inner light. Breathing well, turn and open up to the side. So we're coming into Virabhadrasana 2 on this side now. Okay. Relax into it. Where do you want your arms to be? How deep do you want your legs to be? Can you ground your feet? Open up through the spine. Shoulders soft. All right, slide the hand down. Reach that arm up in the air. Extend. And then finding Parsvakonasana when you're ready. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the sense of space and freedom. Remember, you're that conduit. So drop into the earth with both feet and then extend through your torso, through your spine, through your arm. Can you be both the downward energy and the upward energy? And then as you're ready, come back to dog pose again. Stretch through your spine. I know this is a lot of dog poses. All right, we're going to come down onto our knees. So let's bring our right foot forward. Now, for some people, this may be not okay. So I'll give you a modification if this doesn't work for you. We're going to start with your right leg forward, your left foot back. So we're coming into a lunge. Remember, we're not going to be in lunge up here. We want to go a little deeper. So let your knee come back so you're a little bit deeper, stretching through the hip flexors. Your right foot is forward. Your left hand's going to come down onto the ground. And try that open hip pose just one more time. Let the knee move out to the side. And then we're going to bring it back in. Ground your big toe mound. The right big toe mound stays rooted. Reach the right arm back and grab the left foot. Now, if this is too deep, to come into a thigh stretch like that, or if just being on your knees is no good, stand up. You can hold on to something, and we're going to grab onto our foot this way. So whichever way you're choosing, whichever pose you're doing, we're going to do both sides eventually. So just find the length of your spine, pubic bone toward the navel. Deep breaths here. And then go ahead and release and let that go. Come back to all fours. Have a moment of swishing around the spine, anything that feels good. And now we're going to bring our left foot forward and our right foot back. So once again, a little bit of opening. So you can, feel a little bit of a hip stretch here. Open the chest. And then replant the left foot down, ground it into the big toe down into the earth. The hand can be on the block or on the floor. Let's reach our left arm behind you and grab on to that right foot. Open the chest. Now this is a very big quad stretch, hip flexor stretch. So feel free to stand up and just do a quad stretch by grabbing your foot if this is not available for whatever reason, whether being on your knee is not okay or the flexibility is too much. Open the chest. Stay grounded through the left big toe. How's your breath? When things get a little rough around the edges, what happens to your breathing? Okay, great. And then relax and melt back down. Let's come to child's pose. Let the hip flexors relax for a moment. Deep breath. All right, now let's come over onto our back. Lie down, heels coming a little close to the sit bones, whatever is a nice, natural, neutral place for you to be, hip width apart. We're going to come into a couple of moving bridges. So just like we had that breath flowing with the sun salutations, let's flow with our bridges. Let's take a deep breath in, hips come up, arms come overhead. And then exhale. And lower the legs back, hips back down, arms down. Okay, one more time. Hips high. Exhale. Lower. Now this time we're going to keep our arms down. Everybody flip your palms up to the sun. Roll onto the tops of the shoulders. So turn the biceps out. Let the armpit chest open a little bit. And go ahead and lift the hips and come into your version of a bridge. So you can bend your elbows and have your palms facing toward each other. You can keep your arms down on the ground and palms facing up. If you press the backs of your hands, it will engage your triceps and help you open the shoulders a little bit more. Ground through your feet, big toe mounds, rooting into the earth. Imagine that center place in your torso, wherever you chose your sun to be. Broaden it. Open yourself up to the sky. All right, and then go ahead and melt and relax. Unwind the shoulders a little bit. Take your feet a little wider than your hips. And let's windshield wiper our knees left and right. All right, so you have a choice here. It's hard for me because I can't see you guys. So wheel pose is an option. If you're very comfortable with Urdhva Dhanurasana, back bends, then feel free to do a back bend right now. I'm going to cue bow pose instead. But whichever we're doing, even if we're facing down toward the ground, we are opening to the sun. We are getting the lightness, the brightness, the open heart to be available to us through these back bends. So either do a full wheel pose, or you can follow me here. Grab onto your feet, knees stay hip width apart, try not to let them splay out too much. Roll the biceps open, just like we did in bridge pose. Take a deep breath in and lift everything up. Kick your feet into your hands, the back of the neck stays long. Breathe here. Shoulder blades slide down the back a little bit. Stabilize with your core, even though you're stretching. Have a little flex in there. How's that sun inside your belly, inside your chest, wherever your center place is? All right, melt and fold. Release down to the ground. Turn your head. If you're on your belly, turn your head. If you're on your back, you can windshield wiper your knees. If you're on your belly, windshield wiper your feet. Okay, we're going to repeat. So, or you can do the other one. If you did one, then one, then do the other. Grab onto your feet. Take a deep breath in and open yourself up. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can do the variation where you roll onto your side and let one shoulder stretch a little bit more, and then come back and roll over onto the other side. You do not have to do this. Sometimes rolling is like, wait, what? I have to try to get myself onto my side. So do what you do, and then melt and relax. Turn your head the other way. Windshield wiper your feet, left and right. Let's bring our left knee high up toward our chest. Come to lie down, back down onto the belly. Let your back start to stretch just a little bit. Okay, we're going to reach the right arm over our head and find your way into a gentle twist. So let the knee leave the floor. Try not to overdo the twist here. Deep breath into a big open chest. And exhale and lay back down. Bring your right knee up toward your chest. Relax your torso down. Have a moment to release your spine, release your low back. And then when you're ready, left arm overhead and slide open into a twist. If you ran out of room, you can always cactus your arm. Let the knee leave the floor. Try not to overdo the twist here. And allow the chest to broaden and open, getting a stretch through your pecs. Okay, and then release. And come onto your side. Bring your knees to your chest for a moment and just relax. Okay, now you could go one of two ways. You can either go onto your belly for pigeon pose, or you can go onto your back for reverse pigeon pose. So you're going to decide which way you want to go. Let's bring our left leg forward first, because we always bring the right leg forward first. So why don't we switch that up? Take any support you need. So if you're on your back, the support might mean putting your right foot on a piece of furniture or the wall and your left foot on your right knee. If you're in pigeon pose, maybe you have some blankets or something underneath your sit bone or thigh. Breathe well. No matter what you're choosing to do, let yourself find your breath. Adjust your posture until your joints are in good, healthy places. Your knee is happy, your ankle is happy, your hip is happy, your SI joint is happy. Wide sit bones. Melt the neck and shoulders. Maybe your practice, your intention was about rejuvenation. And so when we start to wind down a little bit and have a little less aggression, well, not aggression, I hope you never have aggression in your practice, but the effort that's involved in the upward standing poses and such, when we come down to the ground, something shifts. So can you allow that softness to enter you, the deep replenishment of your practice begin to enter you? Let's go ahead and find our way to the second side. So no matter what pose you're doing, reverse pigeon or pigeon, are you taking the support that you need? And don't assume that one side is the same as the other. Very rarely the same in our pelvis left and right, our hips left and right, our knees left and right. Okay. So find the support that you need for this pose and allow yourself to be here. Soft shoulders, soft base of the skull, soft jaw. Remember the center place of the breath that you're moving to and from. Wide sit bones. How is your breath? All right, let's swing that leg around if you are in pigeon pose. Release your legs if you are in reverse pigeon pose and come up to sit. Get up on the edge of a blanket if you prefer. I almost always prefer. It helps my pelvis stay in a neutral place. We're going to take our right leg straight and our left knee bent. We're going to open twist this here. So elbows on the inside edge of your left knee. Drop the shoulders down and start to find your way into a twist. Breathing well. Drop the shoulders, open the collarbones. Feel the stability of 2 sit bones. Try not to lean into your straight leg. And then come back to center. Let's change sides. Stretch that leg out. Elbow inside your knee. So the left leg is straight, right elbow inside, right knee. Take your left hand behind you to support the lift of your spine. Drop the shoulders down. All right, let's go ahead and relax now. Okay, we're going to switch. We're going to keep the same legs, but we're going to switch the way they are. So take your left leg and tuck it underneath, and your right leg is going to come over top with your foot down next to your left knee. If you can't bend your knee, if this doesn't work for your hips, you can always straighten out the leg again. You don't have to have it in this position. Okay, and then if you find yourself listing off to the side, maybe think about straightening that leg as well. So find your sit bones, lift up through your spine, take your right hand behind you, left arm lifts, bring it to the outside of your right knee. Maybe this is too deep of a twist and you grab your hand there instead. So find where you go naturally. Take yourself to your edge, but not over your edge. Drop the shoulders and spread open the collarbones. Stay grounded in the front edge of your sit bones. Enjoy the breath, enjoy the twist. Turn your head all the way to the right. Or if you want, turn your head all the way back to look at your right big toe. How's your breath? Okay, and then come back to center. Let's bring our knees to your chest for a moment. Just tuck your chin toward your chest, round your spine. And then we're going to change sides. All right, so remember, your leg does not have to tuck under. You can instead have your right leg straight out instead of down, tucked next to your hip. Lift the spine. Left hand behind you to support. Right arm lifts. Maybe your elbow comes to the outer knee. Maybe your hand or your forearm wraps around the knee. So take your body where your body wants to be. Find the center of your sit bones. Lift up from there. Broaden across your collarbones. Slide the shoulders down. If they want to creep up, usually toward the ears here, try turning your head all the way to the left. Eyes too. Have a few breaths there. Are you more comfortable twisting this direction or the other direction? And now when you're ready, turn just your head and look back over your left toe, big toe. All right, and then melt and relax to come out of there. Straighten your legs straight out to the sides. Find your breath. And we're going to come forward. You can put your elbows up on a block and your head in your hands. You can also keep your hands behind you and stay very upright. So you can go as deep as you want or not deep as you want. Support yourself as you go. Relax your belly. Okay, now bring your legs back to center. We're going to come back onto our back. Bring your knees to your chest and rock for a moment. Okay, just going back and forth. Now, find your feet. Come into happy baby pose. You could also, if you want, move into either some rocking plows or a full plow. Whatever feels good to your body. So many choices. Perhaps even a moment of Supta Baddha Konasana might be a friend to you right now. All right, so find your way into Shavasana as you are ready. Okay, so let the body find deep ease. If you need support, take it. If you need some support underneath your knees or under your head or wherever you're most comfortable, try to be a little broad. Don't hunker yourself into a ball. See, maybe take your limbs, experiment with taking your arms just a little further away from your torso. Maybe try taking your legs just a little bit further away from the midline. And if that doesn't feel good, then that's the end of that experiment and you go back to the way you want. But just see if you can get yourself to be a little more spacious, a little more free. While you are lying here, receive. So even though you're not lying in the sun directly, that solar energy is all around us, permeates everything, including our cells, permeates right through our skin. So as you find yourself resting and releasing into the earth, imagine that your breath now no longer is in the center plane of the body, but is your skin. So soak the prana through your skin. Breathe in through your skin. Breathe out through your skin. Melt the bones. Melt the skull. Rest your head down. Soften all the muscles in your face. Soft, soft belly.
Let's begin to deepen our breathing again. Find your breath. One more time through your skin. Okay, let's gather up some of this energy. Stretch maybe your arms, maybe tuck into a little ball and just see where and what you need. And come on to your side as you're ready. And then let yourself come upright. Taking your time to get to a seated posture. Bring your hands to your heart. And see if you can harness today some of this solar energy, life-giving energy. It's a passionate source for us. Breathe it in right now and then send some of it forth to someone that you care about, someone you're sending your practice to, your love to, your care to. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a blessed day.